Discerning Hearts presents In Search of the Still Point with Dr. Regis Martin. In Episode 1, Dr. Martin reflects on the prologue to the Still Point.
Have you noticed how the curiosity of human beings, whether old or young, will tend to fixate on one or another dimension of time? Either the past, if you're an old guy like me, eager to escape into an unreal world that never was, or the future, if you're like my students, who long for escape into an equally unreal world that never will be. In the meantime, of course, both have missed the present moment, which is the only place that truly is real. Because here alone is where time and eternity, nature and grace, ourselves and God actually do meet. I mean, where else does the infinite God touch the human heart, if not in the finite world? In that moment of kairos, where past and future come together, its sudden and unforeseen eruption, bringing such glints of glory into the grittiness of our otherwise boring and prosaic lives, so that suddenly we see, as Richard Wilbur writes, outside the open window, the morning air, all awash with angels. And so my theme is the still point, the encounter with which may bring insight, joy, salvation even. At the still point of the turning world, T.S. Eliot writes, there the dance is, and there is only the dance. And to apprehend that point, the still point, is an occupation, he continues, for the saint. No occupation either, but something given and taken in a lifetime's death in love, ardor, and selflessness, and self-surrender. And for most of us, of course, who so often fall short, yet do genuinely desire a life defined by that still point, we are, says Eliot, only undefeated because we have gone on trying. So that's what I'd like to do, search out those points of intersection in the 5 or so minutes I've given myself for each podcast. And since it's my show, suppose I tell you who I am and what I do for a living. My name is Regis Martin, and I'm a theologian. I teach theology at the Franciscan University of Steubenville. That's my day job, which reminds me of a funny story. I was on a train some years ago and found myself sitting across from 2 women, a mother and daughter, between whom there was this enormous vanity case into which they would each disappear for long stretches of what I assume were a series of complicated cosmetic maneuvers. In between, they would jabber happily away. At some point, however, the mother turned to me to ask, "So, what do you do?" I said that I taught theology. "Well, what's that?" she wanted to know. "It's the study of God," I told her. Well, that ended the exchange. Silence ensued, which did not end until 2 or 3 hours later, when we were pulling into the station, and the mother turned to me as I was getting up to leave to ask, "So, where are your golf clubs?" I was a bit puzzled by this, since I don't own any golf clubs, and could not imagine why I should be on a train carrying sports equipment. So I told her I didn't play golf, to which she replied with some indignation, "Yes, but didn't you tell me you were a theologian? And isn't that the study of golf?" It was a priceless moment, which I've cherished ever since, reminding me of Mark Twain's quip that the difference between the right word and the not nearly right word is the difference between lightning and a lightning bug. God is not a lightning bug, And while he isn't reducible to lightning either, he does remind us, amid the sheer incandescent blaze of his being, that like a sudden bolt of lightning we can neither predict nor control, God is not anything we can predict or control either. He is not at all manageable, and we mustn't imagine that we can figure him out. God is not a problem to be solved. He is a mystery to be endured. So I'm certainly not here to try and figure God out. I'm still trying to figure myself out. But there may be a few things that are worth saying about him and about ourselves in relation to him. So please stay tuned, and who knows, we might both learn something. Thanks for listening. This is Regis Martin in Search of the Still Point.
You've been listening to Dr. Regis Martin in Search of the Still Point. For more episodes in this series, visit discerninghearts.com, or you can find it in our free Discerning Hearts app or on many other streaming platforms. Discerning Hearts is a 501c3 nonprofit Catholic apostolate dedicated to evangelization and spiritual formation through the use of new media. To learn how you can support our mission, visit discerninghearts.com.